This is Jean Hebert Brown, January 29th, 2023. These pictures were taken by William James Hebert when he was in the United States Army during World War II. All his life, Bill liked to take photographs, so it is not surprising that he had these. William James Hebert was born May 6, 1923, in Northampton, Massachusetts. He enlisted in the National Guard in Massachusetts on May 6, 1940, his 17th birthday. He fudged his age, and at the time, with World War II already underway in Europe, the Guard did not ask too many questions. The Massachusetts 182nd Infantry Regiment was organized in 1636 and had participated in the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. In 1940, after enlisting, Bill was sent to Camp Edwards, Massachusetts, where he was the drum major of the 182nd Infantry Band with a 6 a.m. reveille and march. While there, Bill heard a performance of Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture, conducted by Serge Koussevitzky, using an army jeep as his podium and using real cannons. Koussevitzky was the Boston Symphony Orchestra music director from 1924 to 1949. Here's some more pictures of the band. In the next picture, it looks like some soldiers have spelled out 182nd Infantry Band in rocks on a board. And then two of the men are sitting together, probably just goofing around. Bill was sent to North Carolina for infantry maneuvers. Here's a picture of him in the band, where he notes that he is playing the piccolo in front of the bass drum. Bill left for the Asiatic Pacific Theater on January 23, 1942, where he was a mess cook on the islands of the Pacific Theater of Operations, including Bougainville and the Solomon Islands, New Guinea, Guadalcanal, and New Caledonia. While stationed in the Pacific, he got jaundice and jungle rot on his foot. The first two pictures appear to be taken when he was the cook. The next three are unlabeled. This is a postcard. It pictures the native indigenous inhabitants of New Caledonia. The last two pictures are from 1943 and show typical concerts for the troops. Bill is on the far right. The next picture is of a Christmas show. It appears that in 1945, William was in Europe as a bandsman. The back of this photo states that it is of a concert given at the Theatre Gaveau by the United States Army Band and for an audience of French civilians in Paris on April 21st, 1945. The last picture is of the Velodrome in Marseille, France, where the director of the Conservatory of Music leads the United States Army Band. There are 10,000 French civilians and Army spectators at the Velodrome Stadium in Marseille. This was on June 5th, 1945. Years later, Bill wrote, "During World War II, I was a cook 3 years on the islands of the Pacific Theater of Operations and 2 years elsewhere as a bandsman. The duties during those 5 years with the United States Army Infantry produced more problems than all those which I have encountered in the 50 years since. After battling for 5 years to attempt to solve these daily Army problems, I ultimately discovered the best solution of all, that of getting discharged." The Army of the United States honorably discharged William James Hebert on August 24th, 1945, at the Separation Center, Fort Devens, Massachusetts. At the time of his discharge, William weighed 150 pounds, was 5 feet 11 inches tall, with brown hair and hazel eyes. His civilian occupation was listed as music student, and his military occupational specialty was bandsman, flute, and piccolo. His Army serial number was 20-104-067. His permanent mailing address was given as 35 Cowperswaith Street, Cambridge, Massachusetts. It is noted that he received a Good Conduct Medal, a Presidential Unit Side Date Citation, an American Defense Service Medal, and an Asiatic Pacific Theater Campaign Ribbon. For most of his life, Bill Hebert was a bandsman, and he certainly deserved an ongoing Good Conduct Medal, because he was simply the best.